Hi, I'm going to demonstrate how Keynotes work in the Mechanical Productivity Pack. We use a note block schedule to generate our keynotes, and what the note block schedule does is it pulls parameters from a generic annotation that is placed in the model. So we have a keynote tag generic annotation, we have a standard type, and we also have a typical type. The typical is something that you would point to in your drawings, that you have more than one representation for that item. Standard is just what we're going to use most of the time. I'm going to demonstrate with the standard, so I'm just going to pull this over here. Once you place it in your view, there are three parameters that need to be adjusted. There's the sheet number. This is very important. It has to be exactly what the sheet number is, or better yet, it needs to be however it's being filtered in the schedule. So the sheet that I'm in right here for demonstration purposes is sheet M101. We're going to make this keynote number 1, and I have a note here that we're going to use, and as soon as you enter those items, it automatically populates your schedule. You can go into your schedule and change this to a 2, or you could come right here and change this to a 2. The good thing about actually changing it in the schedule is you can have multiple instances of that same note placed throughout your view, and when you change it here, if I want to change this back to a 1, it's going to give me a 1 and a 2. But if I wanted them all to be a 1, if I go to the schedule and I change number 2 to number 1, and I go back to my sheet, they all change automatically. So it's very important to know the difference between changing them in a view or changing them in the schedule. One of the other things too is that sometimes you might see that there's nothing in the description field, and the reason why that happens is maybe somebody places a number 1 and they don't realize there's another number 1 in there. And if they put another description in there, it's going to make it so that it looks blank. And the way to find out what's going on is to actually go to the schedule. Once you're in the schedule, it'll still look the same, but what you want to do is you want to itemize every instance. So you go to sorting and you go to itemize every instance, and then you'll see a list of all the items that are placed that are using those parameters. So I see that this one's different. You can figure out if you need to change it back to be like all the rest of them, or if that one is truly supposed to be a different note, I can give it a 2 right here. Then you're going to want to get rid of that itemize every instance, and it'll show up correct here, and then you go back to your sheet and it shows up correct in your sheet. So that's how the keynotes work. If you are changing your sheet names and numbers, you are going to want to edit that in your schedule. The way to do that is to go to the filters tab, and you're going to want to change your sheet number to match whatever the sheet numbers are that you're using. And once you do that and you select you give it the right sheet number in the keynote parameter, it'll populate just how it's supposed to. Hope this helps. Thank you.